right, in this video I'm going to be covering the trades and everything I have done thus far. If you've watched my welcome video, honestly, it just covers just some of the things I'm doing, what I'm trying to do with this channel and stuff like that. But in this video, I want to cover just basically what I have done so far when it comes to my trading. I want to cover the next 4 months of my trading and just basically the last 4 months, I should say, that I have covered and done with my trading, and basically give you just an idea of where I'm at right now, where I started and where I'm at right now, and give you some kind of baseline to start with. This is where I'm at, and I'm going to use this as something I can look back in the future just to see, hey, this is where I started out at, and I have all these records down so I can just basically show what I'm doing. So we're going to start all the way back in March of 2024, so several months ago already. And this is when I basically got in right at the beginning of March. This is when I got into trading. This is when I started learning. Now, I spent the first about 3 weeks or so just learning about trading and learning things like technical analysis, candlestick charts, a little bit of fundamental analysis, stuff like that. So I didn't start trading. I didn't even know what trading platform I was going to use or anything like that yet. I just knew that I wanted to do this, and I started learning. I started watching a bunch of videos on the stuff, following a guy by the name of Ross Cameron again, learning about all of this stuff and how it works and trying to figure out, was this for me or not? Okay, so let's get into the actual trades that I actually made for the month. So to start off, I didn't start till about the 22nd of March. That's when I made my actual first trade. So at that time, I was running my chart a little bit different here. I was recording things like day, time, symbol, position. That was basically the amount of shares I would buy in a given position. My buy and sell price points, earnings per share, which stands for EPS, and then my profit loss. So that's what I'm tracking here, at least in this month. I change these charts from month to month a little bit, and I think I'm finally getting to the point where I know what I want to track and everything. So I'm putting that all in these charts. So the first shares I actually did really good right off the bat. If you would see this right off the bat as a beginning trader, you'd be like, wow, this guy's pretty good. I was averaging 14 cents a share, and I made $678 buying 1,000 share positions. And only one out of these 5 days, I lost $50, and pretty good. You look at all that, my winners, my gainers, pretty good. $100 a share, that's 10 cents a share right there. My second trade, now I should tell you, I probably made more than one trade here. I was just putting it all in. This was my P&L for the day. This is how many shares I was trading. So, this is a little different than my charts get a little different when I get further down. I'll show you and we'll talk about that. But overall, really stellar month here. $678.20, 14 cents a share per. No one's complaining here. This was good. When I did this, I was thinking, this is going to be great. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to have a lot of fun. And as you'll see as I go here, it obviously doesn't keep that. I think, honestly, I was just having some beginner's luck here. I wasn't getting like anything really great here as far as like I was going to be successful at this. I was thinking this is great, but I think this was just beginner's luck, honestly. So I took some trades, made some really goes. This one right here on XTLB, man, $308. That's super awesome. When I can start making 1,000 share buys, and that's great, but it's going to be a little bit, until I get to that point. But when I do, I see that there's some good possibilities. But let's fast forward. Let's move into April here and look at what I actually did in April. And in April, okay, so we did something. Oh, wait, let's go back to March real quick here. I didn't discuss a few things here. First off, I made a total of 5 trades that month. 4 were good, 1 was bad. So that meant my success rate was 80%. If anybody is doing out there and trading is doing 80% a success rate in their trading, you are doing phenomenal. You seriously are. If you are doing 80%, and right off the bat, I'm doing 8, but I only took 5 trades. So, we can't base it all on 5 trades here, or 5 days of trading, I should say, because we had 14 cents per share. My average green trade let's see, $728 in actual green trades, $50 in red trades. My average green trade was $182, not complaining. And only $50 in losses on my average red trade because I only had one, obviously. But when we look at all this, you know, a 3.641 to 1 profit ratio. If you know anything about profit ratios, a 2 to 1 is what I'm striving for. And that's pretty awesome that I could even do that my first, you know, couple days of trading. I'm just amazed, but it's not going to stay like that. Obviously, I think that's just beginner's luck here. I think that's just what we have here is beginner's luck. So let's jump into April now. Obviously, this is a little different month. My green days, really good. Red days, not as many, which is good. That is what I want. I want less red days, more green days. And I have 22 days. I mean, my success rate was still really good yet, 72.27%, and just good, just really good. My P&L not nearly as high as the month before, but I was trading smaller share size. If you look at what I did, is I actually, you know, didn't keep the same account. I kept switching things around and trying different things in this month. So I went to 10 shares, and then I went down here. I went to 100 share trades. I should have just kept it at 1,000. I think it would have been simpler, but it is what it is. I tracked it, and that's what it was. So overall, you know, a lot of green days in here. Only 5 red days out of the whole month. That's fantastic. You know, I'm not complaining about that. My monthly P&L about $294. Can't complain. My success rate, good. So everything is looking up and up here. And when you look at all of this, an average of 8 cents per share traded. I don't know how accurate that is because I wasn't tracking every trade. I was just tracking the P&L for each day. So when you look at it, my green trades, $437, lost $144. When you break it down on an average trade per trade, though, you're only looking at about, or per day, I guess, green day, because it wasn't on a per trade. So I was doing about $25.74 on an average green trade day, and then about $28. So I was only right around a 1-to-1 profit ratio here. So not as good as the 3.64 I had the month before. So a little bit less. And that was a little concerning to me, but we were still profitable. We still did good. I would take that month as a beginner any day as I am. So it was okay. I think, honestly, I should have just traded 1,000 share buys and just done all that. But I think that would have been better. I didn't do that for whatever reason. And I was also, I should say, I was trying different things here. You know, I was testing different ideas. At one point, I was kind of like, maybe I ought to trade on a 15-minute chart. Maybe I ought to trade on a 5-minute chart. And then I jumped into this whole idea of doing some swing trading, which is what I ended up doing here in May. So we get to May, and my chart obviously looks way different now from what April did. I changed it up. I wanted to be able to track certain things certain ways. And honestly, this is where we started to get a little flip. I started trying some different things, and my green trades, obviously, and this is where I started tracking each individual trade every month. And you can see how big of a position I was taking there, but I also messed some stuff up, and I didn't track the first half of that month because I screwed a bunch of stuff up, and so I just started over. But what I decided to do at the end of that month was start with my paper trading account at $1,000 now and just work from there, because that's where I want to start at. I'm going to start with $1,000 in my account. I'm not going to start with $10,000, $5,000, $25,000. I don't have that kind of money to put into this to really do that. So I'm going to start with just putting in $1,000 and working from there. So I might as well start there and start learning what it's like to trade with $1,000. And to be honest, it's going to be a little tougher because you can't take as big a position on that stuff. You can't take 1,000 share position unless you're below $1 a share, technically, you know. So, and I don't want to trade penny stocks, so it's probably going to be somewhere around 100 shares in the beginning is what I'm going to start taking out. So obviously, when we look at the beginning of the month, I was getting some small trades. I mean, small losses, small trades. I did make a couple good ones. I had this first day trading at the end of the month, so about 2/3 the way through May. I had some good trades, a couple of good trades. I had small losses, which was probably the good thing. Overall, 100 share buys is all I was really doing there. Wasn't trying to do anything big. I think I took only a 50 share position on this because I didn't think I could afford it. I don't know why I did that, but I did. I think the reason this got messed up with this chart is I tried to trade GameStop because that came back again. If you know anything about GameStop, that stock is on a roller coaster, and I tried to trade it once, messed up huge. I think that's why I kind of changed everything, because I think I took like a big $500 loss on it and shouldn't have traded it. It was not in my wheelhouse to trade. It was too volatile actually, and the spreads on it were too high, and just overall not a good idea. So overall, if you can tell, I only had 13 green trades in that whole couple of days, that week of trading. Not very good. I had 13 green trades, 19 bad trades. And I think, let's see here, any of them real bad? I think $11 loss was probably my biggest loss as far as a trade. So I did keep the stops pretty tight. I don't, in my trading account, in my paper trading account, I'm not trading with like an actual stop limit or anything like that. So I don't have that in play. I'm just watching the thing, and I know that I don't want to go more than 10 cents of a loss. And that was probably the only one I might have had that kind of a loss on. 10, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. So, overall, it was okay. But one of the things I felt like the problem with May is I didn't have any good winners. I didn't have anything really much over 10 cents. In fact, if you look at this, only 3 of my trades here were over 10 cents and above. So not as good. I was making a lot of small trades, meaning my accuracy was not as good. Obviously, you can tell with my success rate, my accuracy was only about 40%, right? Just over 40%, which means not as good. The months before, I was shooting closer to 70, 80%, and now I dropped to 40%. And that's the difference between tracking every single trade to just saying, hey, here's my P&L on a day. If I would take like this day here, this was a good day, this was a good day, but this was not a good day. So obviously I was, break even this day, and the 23rd was break even. The 22nd was a good day. The 21st was a good day. But after that, we can see a long string of red days here. Just not good. I was making a lot of foolish mistakes here. I was picking trades that really weren't meant to be picked, and the risk reward for those were not good. So one of the things I decided at the end of this month was that I wanted to actually trade better setups. I was going to look for way better setups and make better trades and try to increase my success ratio to at least 50%. So that was my goal for the month of June, and we'll discuss that here in a second. But one good thing that did come out of all of this, my profit to loss ratio, was a 2.25 to 1. So it was better. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't a 1-to-1, and it was better. A 2-to-1 is actually what I'm striving for. So if I get a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio, that's pretty good. I think if you can hit that all the time consistently, you're going to do very well. Because if you follow that logic of a 2-to-1 profit ratio, you can be wrong 33% of the time roughly and still come out for a green month, meaning you lose literally 2/3 of all your trades and still come out green for the month if you're following a 2-to-1 profit ratio. Now, if you're following a 1-to-1 profit ratio, you have to be right 50% of the time. And obviously, if you're flipped, you're a 1-to-2 profit ratio, you have to be right 2/3 of the time, and you can only be wrong 1/3 of the time. So you don't want to get in that position. You want to be at a 2-to-1 profit ratio. So maybe in another video, I can talk a little bit more about that. But I spent a lot of time really analyzing that kind of stuff, like 2-to-1 profit ratio. You want to take the setup that is a 2-to-1. So in my case, I like to be somewhere right at about 20-cent gain and not more than 10-cent loss. So 2-to-1, 20-cent gain, half of that would be 10 cents. I don't want to lose more than 10 cents on an average trade. And if you can tell, most of these, I didn't have that. I had very small, tight losses. I took a lot of trades, probably unnecessary trades, but overall, that was the good stuff. The bad stuff, I just need to increase the average earnings per share on an average trade, and I need to get my accuracy up just a bit more, 10% more, and it would be great. So let's move into June now. Let's see where I came out on that. Let's see where I actually ended up on all that. So again, my chart changed a little bit, so don't mind that, but I was trying to keep things a little bit more streamlined with this chart and make it a little bit easier for me to understand. I think this is the actual chart I'm going to be using from now on, so it shouldn't be changing. So let's look at this real quick here. So in June, I started out really good. First trade, 16%. I had a lot better accuracy as far as trades over 10 cents a share, meaning earning at least 10 cents a share on a trade. That's the goal here. So, and then better accuracy. So the first trade, good. I started out really good, but the next day, boom, right there, $77 lost. I made a terrible, terrible trade. I think what I was doing on this particular trade on MGLO was just, I was kind of trying to chase the move, and that's usually never a good thing to do, is to try to chase a move. And I ended up getting into that position, and I stopped out with a 77-cent loss per share. So huge loss there. Obviously not a good thing. I think my max loss for a day is $100 on $1,000 account. I don't want to lose more than, so I stopped out before max loss, and that was probably I think that was my biggest, $77 was my biggest loss for the month. But the problem with this was now I was already working from a position of a negative loss, and not so good. I took that trade in the morning, and I wish I didn't make it. I should have really analyzed things a little bit more and looked for the things that I should not have been trading on, and some of the mistakes I have found. I'll talk more about those in future videos, but just know I made a lot of mistakes that day. The next day, made a nice trade again, $19.50 in profit on a 100-share buy. Honestly, my exit and entry and exit were good. I got in, got out, made profit, and that was good. Again, the next day, made another loss, but it was a small loss, nothing to worry about. $4, nobody worries. The next day, though, didn't get a good position and only made $4 profit. Just nothing great about that, but it was what it was. Okay, we get down to this next week here, between these two bolded lines here. As you can tell, I made a few mistakes. Honestly, I had some bigger losses than I wanted, more red trades than green trades, obviously, but I did have one good big trade, two good trades that I can speak of. This one right here on WHLR, I took in the afternoon. It was 238 to 280. I punched up a 42-cent gain on per share. So good. Kind of felt like I was getting back, and then a $5 winner. Nothing big to write home about, but then a bunch of big losers again. Losing trades I hit again, and again, just not picking good accuracy and trading more trades than I should that day. I should have just quit while I was ahead and just not done anything, because I've been better off, honestly. And that's what I'm finding, is that in the beginning, you just want to make one trade a day, and you want to pick that A+ quality setup trade, and just do that. Don't try to do do 5 trades a day starting out. Just do one trade. Pick one good quality setup and go for that one quality setup that you always want to do, and just hit that. So that's what I'm doing. And obviously I wasn't fooling my discipline very well, my trading rules very well, and I was making more trades than I needed to. Big mistake. So that's one thing I'm working on as well for the next month. Now we get down to the end of that week. I made a nice $54 gainer, 54 cents a trade. Was really good. I hit that one in the afternoon again. I think that was on power hour between 3 and 4. it was good. That stock KVL was really hot that week, I remember, and made some good little profit on that one. So that was good. Again, we get to the following week. We had a really good trade right at the beginning of the week, and then boom, 4 small bad trades. I went that next day. I don't know why. I should have just quit at $5, but the mistake I fell into right there was that I felt like I could make the win back, and I had to trade it again and trade it again and trade it again, and they were all losses. And really, my rule is that if I make 3 bad trades in a day, especially when I get to a higher amount of money in my account, that three bad trades and I'm done for the day, because I'm obviously not going to do good that day, and I should just quit while I'm ahead. Now, honestly, I should have quit after $5 and just doing right now as a small account. I should not trade any more than 1 trade that day, and I traded more trades. Then we get to the 20th, 19th. I don't think I traded anything. The 20th, I think that was a no trade day for me. The 20th, $1 gain, 2 more bad trades, and then I had a break-even trade there, and then on the 21st, I had 2 big losses. Should have made no trades on those days. And I think, honestly, one of the things I have to be okay with is just the fact that I'm okay if I don't take a trade that day, because it's just not a good day to take a trade. The market is not showing anything promising as far as a good trade, a good stock, the one that I should be trading. And I should have just hung it up and said, nope, not going to trade it. And I would have saved myself $50, over $50 probably, about $50. So then we get to the last week. Again, I think I kind of got a little wiser at the first part of the week. The end of the week, I shouldn't have traded, but I did. Here we go again. With a $4 loss right at the beginning. But then I had 2 good trades, $11.40 and $22, and then this $5.15 gain right here on WNA. Can only buy, let's see, 50 shares here. This one I forgot to reset my my account back to 100 shares. I ended up taking small size on this one, and only a 10-cent gain. I had a 10-cent gainer on that one, but I just only bought 50 shares because I forgot to set my thing back. And then I took 2 terrible trades on CASI and BSFC. I shouldn't have taken these trades at all. And my problem here was I got into the mindset that I was just like, well, this is the only thing I could take. I'm just going to take a trade. And I should say, no, I shouldn't take that trade. I shouldn't be taking that trade. I should only take that trade if it meets the quality setups. Not because, well, this is the only thing that's out there, I should just take the trade. No, we shouldn't be doing that. That's just, even if it would have turned green, this would have been a bad trade. Maybe eked out with $5 of profit or something. It was still a bad trade to take. Shouldn't have taken it, but I did. Now, on the 28th, I didn't take any trades because honestly, I woke up, and this was last Friday as of this video recording. I looked at the scans. There was like 8 or 10 penny stocks on top of the scans that were the leading gainers for that day. And I was like, not another one of these days. I just felt like I'm not going to even get up to look at the scans at 7 o'clock. If this is what I'm seeing, I'm not even going to get up and even try to review any stocks, because honestly, penny stocks are just not my wheelhouse. I don't really care to do penny stocks because there's a lot of issues with them, pump and dump schemes, but there's also just a lot of they're not big gainers and things like that. So I don't want to trade those. And, if I have to go down 8 or 10 spots on my scanner list, I mean, we're talking about stocks that are only up maybe 10%. So nothing really good there. I was going to look at it at the open, didn't even do that, but they weren't even really good stocks then. So I didn't even trade. I didn't even make the trade because honestly, I don't want another $20 loss. I don't want that. So I'm just like, it's better for me not to trade that day than to take the trade. So that's a hard thing to learn in the beginning, and I'm learning it the hard way, obviously, but at least I'm doing it in a paper trading account, and I'm learning that now. So I'm figuring those things out now. So overall for that month, 13 red trades, 13 green trades, 23 red trades, a total of 36 trades total. My accuracy and success rate, as far as trades over 10 cents a trade was only 22%, but successful green trades, 36%. So honestly, not very good. I was striving for 50% this month. I couldn't even get it close to that. I was really struggling. I think the newness and the whole idea of beginner's luck had pretty much worn off in June here. So, but there was some good things. If you look at total green trades, $262, but I lost $299. My average green trade was $20.16. My average red trade though was only $13. So when you break it down that way, my accuracy was still 1.55 over 1, which was good. And an average trade was 0 cents, not very good, not very good. But we do have some good things. My profit loss ratio was probably the only good thing out of that whole month. And honestly, after having this month, I'm not ready to start investing money, real money, into my account yet. I am just not ready for that. So it's going to be a few more months yet, I think. It could be as early as September, maybe. It could be as late as January 1st of next year. Honestly, if this keeps going like this, I need to continue to work on that. So 8 trades above 10 cents. That's all I got out of that. But my trades were bigger. I think that was the other good thing. I had some really good trades in there where I had $54, $81. Those trades did help. And I was getting better quality setups on my trades. I felt like that was really a good thing. So I felt like we're doing the right thing there. So when you look at the week's P&L, week 1, $41 loss. Week 2, $3 lost. So not bad. And let's see, week 3, $5 lost, and my P&L for week 4, $2.55. So nothing to write home about, but not terrible. You know, with a $1,000 account that I started way back in May, I mean, I'm at like $1,026 right now. So not bad. My average trade was $1.03 loss. So not terrible, but not great yet. We still got some things we can work on. In this month, I feel like we still made some mistakes, a lot of bad mistakes. We could make less mistakes. Next month here in July, I think we'll be good. So what are the lessons? What are the strategy for coming up here in July? July is a new month, and I'm going to give you more breakdown on my individual trades, but this is just a recap of the last 4 months. But next month, I'm just looking at, I'm going to make better A-class quality setups. And then number 2, minimize the losses. Minimize taking all these trades. Just try to go for one trade in a day. Just making that one A-plus quality trade, going for 10 cents and above on my trades. 20 would be nice. Higher than 20 would be great. Making fewer of these red trades, obviously, and then getting my P&L up to a 2-to-1. And then also for July, I want to hit 50% accuracy, at least 50% or better. That is going to be my goal for the month of July. So that's what I got. So if we move into July here, obviously I haven't done anything yet. So we're ready to start taking trades for July, and hopefully we get some good stocks and everything like that to work with. And honestly, you can't tell what the market's going to do. Right now, I feel like the market's a little bit of a colder market. We don't see really big gainers right now. We don't see all of that stuff. So it's just whatever's going to come up, it's going to be what it's going to be. But I got to trade the market I'm in. I can't trade, a hot market every day. It's not going to happen. The market's going to cool. It's going to get hot, and right now we're just in one of those cooler periods, which is good actually, because I'm learning some of these things now. And then when the market gets good, I'm probably going to do a lot better at this. So, but it's just going to take time. So in my next video, I'm actually going to break down my trading strategy a little bit. So some of you might be wondering, well, how do I pick the stocks that you pick and all that stuff? So in my next video, I'm just going to share with you my actual trading strategy, so you kind of have an idea where I'm coming up, where I get the stocks, how I pick them, and all that stuff. So if you want to keep following along, subscribe, and you can follow along with me as I learn stock trading and I start to figure things out, hopefully make some money here and learn a bunch of stuff about how to get better at this. Obviously I'm not doing as good as I would like to do, but we'll figure it out. So stick with it, subscribe, and I will be giving you more. So my next video, I'm going to be talking more about my trading strategy before I actually jump into my next trades here come July 1st. So I look forward to sharing that with you. So stick around and check out my next video.